It's that imposter syndrome. I'm not enough. I have to check all the boxes, have everything locked down. And if you wait to be 100% ready for anything, you're never going to do it. And that's where courage comes in.
Some spaces, they don't hold the honor of hearing your story. They don't get to speak into your life. I'm still going to be me though. Still me, all of me, maybe just with some extra boundaries. So this is Be Fully You.
I work very hard and I care deeply about the work that we do. And I've told myself, you deserve to feel the joy as our people deserve to feel the joy.
Welcome to Courage is Built Here, the podcast. I'm Justine Froelker, licensed professional counselor, author, speaker, and corporate trainer. Here, we bring my Courage is Built Here curriculum to life and community. Each week, I invite a guest to walk one of the 5 courageous pathways with me through authentic, sometimes tough, sometimes hilarious conversations. No performance, no polish, just real people practicing real courage with grit, grace, and a whole lot of love. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Courage is Built Here, the podcast. We are in Pathway 3, Be Fully You. So Pathway 3 is really all about showing up as all of who you are in all of the spaces you exist in. To show up authentically, which also requires vulnerability, because all courage is vulnerable. All authenticity is vulnerable. When you dare to show up as all of who you are in any space, any system, you're brave. You're being courageous. You are putting yourself at risk for hurt. You are showing people your heart. And you don't know what you're going to get back. And it's always worth it. Because when we show ourselves to other people, more times than not, they will show us who they are. And that's the whole freaking point. Because now we're in it together. Now we're in connection. We were never meant to do this by ourselves. We have to stop trying to. It's making us sick, small, divided, and miserable. And you got to let people in. You got to show them who you are. And there are always and absolutely going to be spaces that you have to be in that aren't necessarily safe or brave enough for you. They are not worthy of seeing all of us. Here's the thing, though. I still want you to be you, no matter what the system is or the space is. It may mean, though, that you have to be in those spaces with some hardcore boundaries. And this is going to be true for like some of us more than others. Like there are some spaces that are very unsafe for some people more than others. Okay. And at the same time, I am the easiest example. I walk into some rooms that are not happy to see me. They really are not super happy when they learn that I'm a therapist by trade. And we're going to talk about emotions. And those spaces may not feel the safest or the bravest to me, yet I am done, simply done, especially the older I get and the more healing work I do as I walk in courage. I am done allowing you to take my courage. I am done allowing you to take my authenticity. I'm going to be all of who I am. Sometimes that includes boundaries if the space isn't super healthy or well or safe or brave for me. Because some spaces, they don't hold the honor of hearing your story. They don't get to speak into your life. I'm still going to be me though. Still me, all of me, maybe just with some extra boundaries. So this is Be Fully You. And today's guest is my friend, my client, Amy Ruzicka. I have been working with Amy since 2019, so it's been a long time. And she is someone that lives, breathes, and truly walks out the courage work in every space that she walks into. She is a leader that has really, really trusted me with her people. It, truly working with Bayless School District is one of my greatest honors. I love them so much. They are a school district that I have literally had multiple people, when they hear me speak somewhere else, they will be like, I could tell, like, you work with Bayless. Like, I see this work in their people. I see it. I've literally been told before by a parent that, like, we're literally living in a house that's too small for our family just to stay in this school district because that's how much we love them. And I can see the work that you're doing with them. They are doing it. They're walking it out. So they're truly one of my greatest honors. And Amy has a really incredible bio. And so, like, I want to read it to you because she deserves it. And I just really respect her. And we talk about some of this. And one of the reasons is we'll talk about it in the episode. But so Amy Ruzicka serves as superintendent of schools for one of Missouri's most linguistically diverse district in Missouri. Like, that's wild. I'm going to do that again. Amy Ruzicka serves as superintendent of schools of one of Missouri's most linguistically diverse districts. Amazing. With 24 years in education, she has held roles ranging from math teacher and instructional coach to professional development coordinator and chief academic officer. She is committed to learning and growing as a courageous leader while cultivating strong leadership teams united by a shared vision for student success. She also serves as co-facilitator of the Greater St. Louis Women in Leadership Network for the Missouri Association of School Administrators, supporting and empowering women leaders across the region. Her dedication to educational excellence has been recognized with honors, including MASA Emerging Superintendent of the Year for Greater St. Louis K-12, Dives National Rising Leader, and Missouri Teacher of the Year finalist. Outside of her professional role, Amy is the proud mother of 3 children and has been married for 23 years to her husband, Greg, who is also a lifelong educator. Let's welcome my friend and my colleague, Amy. All right. Hi, Amy.
How are you, Justine? So good to see you.
I'm excited. I'm thankful that you are doing this with me. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. And again, I'm excited to dive in and talk about all things courage.
I know. Let's do it. So we're going to start with the first question that we always begin with. When you think about courage, most especially through that pathway 3, be fully you, is there a story or a moment that comes up for you, that rises up?
Yes, absolutely. So, going right out there and being vulnerable, throughout my life, very type A, recovering perfectionist, and struggled a lot throughout my life and my leadership journey with imposter syndrome, not being enough, not always having that confidence in what I bring to the table. And so, for me, a huge moment where I really stepped into and embraced courage in accepting that I'm enough and the gifts that I have to bring to the table, the world needs and our district needs. And so that was making the decision to apply to be superintendent. A lifelong educator. I loved being in the classroom. I loved every role that I served in, but I never saw myself as the head leader of a school district. And, I looked at all the things that I didn't have as opposed
Oh,
to the experiences I did have. And so that for me, just stepping out there in that exposure, putting myself kind of into the arena that I
mhm.
am enough, I can do this work, I can bring our district to the next level. That was a huge step forward for me. And just, of course, it worked. It worked very well. And now entering my 4th year in that work.
I I I don't think I ever knew that you never thought, like, wanted to be a superintendent.
Yeah,
Was there a tipping point, like, for you? Like, was there a moment that I know if I operate in everything that I am, that I can do this, or what was that like?
Yeah, so great question. I had spent, 14 years of my life pouring into this district, caring
Mhm.
for our students and the community and my colleagues. And so I had been able to build and bring so much of who I was. And I was so deeply invested in seeing that work continue on that a mentor of mine asked me the question, if not you, then who? And so that really brought it. And they just said, whether you decide to jump in or not, know that you're going to have to live with that decision
Hmm.
and which brings you more fear. And so for
Ooh.
me, it was handing everything that we had worked for. And I had seen our district's remarkable transformation. I'd been a part of it. And so for me, it elicited a lot more fear to not be, kind of in that
Uh,
driver's seat of the next era. And so
yeah.
that was that tipping point for me that if not you, then who?
Yeah.
And that made me realize, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm human. I am enough. And nobody has anything 100% figured out. And if they do, they're lying. I mean, that's the honest to
100%.
goodness truth.
Yep, absolutely. What was it like, because and we've talked about this before, like, because there are not as many women superintendents. And so I can imagine for me that would, I mean, for me I think that would, it would be hard to even think of myself in that position, cuz you don't have an example or as many examples. And also with that imposter syndrome, could I even do it?
Hmm.
Like that had did that how much did that play into it?
It did quite a bit. And, along those lines, I have had some really amazing mentors, male and female. But looking, one of my mentors, one of the things I appreciate most about her is, someone challenged her and she said, no, I'm very good at what I do. And she stood firm in, I am
Yeah,
an unapologetic, staunch advocate for kids, and I'm very good at what I do. Doesn't mean I'm perfect,
yeah.
but I'm very good at what I do. And so seeing that confidence and just thinking about, the people that we serve, the students that we serve, thinking about my own daughter and
Mhm.
wanting to show her what courage looks like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, along those lines, I've really poured into. I co-facilitate a women in leadership group, and so really trying to pour into both current women leaders and then the next generation of women leaders, because about 75% of the teaching force is female, but only 25% in the superintendency, and really unpacking some of the barriers. And I find it's so common that the barrier is self-imposed, that it's that
Mhm.
imposter syndrome. I'm not enough.
Right.
I have to check all the boxes, have
Mhm,
everything locked down. And if
mhm.
you wait to be 100% ready for anything, you're never going to do
Never
it.
do it.
And that's where courage comes in.
Yeah, that stat is wild. And it is like how I mean, we hear it all the time. We have the official research to show us, but like how many women are missing out on raises because they've never asked
Hmm.
or said, "Nope, this is what my fee is," or "This is what I need for a salary." And so we miss out. It is so much of it is self-imposed because of what we've learned, what we need to unlearn, how we've been raised, also who the world tells we're supposed to be, right? All of those things, when our gift is in the authenticity, because that is what's going to make you a good leader of that school.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, well said. And, we, not all of it is self imposed, but,
Yeah.
certainly we're taught,
Yes.
that to be polite, to be that people pleaser. And so that runs contrary to the courage work. And so it's
Yeah.
accepting that I am enough, the gifts I bring to the table are what, this organization or this field needs.
Mhm.
And it's okay to stand confident in that. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm
Yeah.
human. Uh,
Yep.
but I've worked hard. I've learned a lot. And the other piece too that's really helped with the courage work, and I will pour back into our people with this. When you're feeling that self-doubt, it's asking somebody, when have you ever not been able to learn something that you really wanted to learn and grow?
Yeah. 'Cause you learned it. You figured it out. You asked for help and found the resources, right?
Exactly. I
And
mean, if
got the
you
training
really
or whatever.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you really wanna learn it realistically, I mean, of
Yes.
course, there
Right.
are things that
Yeah. Yeah. I One of the other things that I'm wondering is because of your history with the district, and then you move in, I mean, it's it's the top spot. It's superintendent and a woman and with a history with the district, people that know you. How does the like who you are and that authenticity serve that transition? And also, I'm sure there are hiccups in that transition though too.
Mhm.
And what's that look like?
Yeah, so through the authenticity lens, I integrity is so incredibly important to me. I mean, it's the number one in
Yeah.
what I hold myself accountable to and then the people that I serve. And so, for me in that regard, I had always shown up and done what was right, even if it was
Mhm.
difficult,
Right.
in every role that I served. And so, there wasn't any type of having to switch, I'm going to hold myself
Yeah.
differently. I mean, it's a different role with a huge, scope of responsibility,
Yeah.
but I'd always conducted myself in a way that is professional, student centered, hard work, character always at the
Yeah.
forefront. As within any new role, or whether it's in the same system or a different system, people will test boundaries when there's, somebody new stepping in. And so
Yeah.
there was definitely some, early boundary testing. However, we know in the courage work that trust and we need
Yeah.
that vulnerability to build trust, that,
Mhm.
building that strong team around me and being comfortable asking for help or saying, this is a really tough situation. Can we talk through this together? Can you
Mhm.
walk, with me as we navigate this tough situation? And
Yeah.
so just those relationships that I had built over the years were incredibly valuable. And then also too, the courage to remind people of the expectation and to, hold them accountable when they tried to step out of bounds because
Mhm.
they thought maybe they could.
Right. And and our very human selves, why wouldn't we try? Like, right?
A new sheriff's in town, so let's
Right.
let's see what we can
Right.
do.
Let's kinda like let's see if she's really gonna, right?
Right.
Like, but there is that piece of like your power dynamics changed in relationships that you had for a really long time. That I can imagine would be hard and impossible without authenticity. That's for sure. Impossible. Because it's in that it's gotta be in that authenticity through your vulnerability because you have the relationships with people to be also be able to, like, kinda name, like, "Okay, this is, like, it's a new power dynamic."
Mhm. And
Like, and
then
it's okay, and it doesn't feel great, right? Like, because that would be a hard shift, I would think, for some people more than others probably, but
it wasn't as hard as I thought it would
okay.
be just from leading from, yes, there's positional power.
Yeah.
I've always led from a space of influence
Mhm.
as opposed to from a place of
Power with.
power.
Yep.
And so in that regard, it wasn't as big of a lift as
Yeah.
I think it could have been,
Okay.
maybe in a different circumstance. So that was a good, that was the good news. There's always challenges, but it's, and also too, building new relationships or different relationships. It's also not just listening with the intent to understand. I also, in my role, listen with the intent to be influenced. that there's
Mhm.
multiple ways to approach some of these issues that we face. And so I can't just listen to understand. I need to be open to be influenced because if there's a better way to serve our kids, then I want to hear it.
Right. Oh, that's really good. That takes a lot of vulnerability, especially as superintendent,
Hmm.
right? Like,
Yes.
I do, like, there are definitely some that would, I don't, the position is more important than that part, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's hard, positionally because I'll meet people and they'll say, "What do you do for a living?" "Oh, I work in education."
Uh-huh.
What do you do in education?" "Oh, I'm an educational leader." It takes multiple questions to get to that point. Because some of
You don't just, like, lay it out and say, I'm the superintendent of an incredible school district."
I say I work for an incredible school district
Okay.
that is just an amazing place to be, and you have to come and check
Yeah.
it out. I would love to show you what we do, but that's the piece. It's always been about the work and not about the
Yeah.
title. And so,
Uh-huh.
still some, discomfort, especially people I don't know just coming out and saying, "Yeah, I'm a superintendent." No, I'm an educator. I'm always an educator. And
Yeah.
regardless of the title, my job is to educate our amazing kids, and
Mhm.
that work looks different now in my role, but I'm still a teacher. I'm the lead teacher and learner.
Yeah. Which is what makes you an incredible superintendent.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because I don't, there is that there's part of me that wants to be like, Um, no, Amy, I would like you to, like, totally claim I am freaking superintendent. And I get the humility, like, that, where you're coming from. Like, that's part of your value system, and the authenticity. It's like this, it's it's both. But it's those pieces that make you so good at what you do, because it's true authentic connection with the kids you all serve, the families, and with your leaders and your staff and faculty. It's because of the vulnerability part.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's still tough. It's tough to hear
No.
through that.
Look at you, you're able to say thank you. Like, it's good.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you didn't make a little bit of a face, but it's fine.
Yes, for
It's hard, it's hard. But, like, that, because it is through the authenticity that influence is born. How else is it gonna grow? Whether or not you're the leader or not, or where you fall in the hierarchy.
Mhm. No, you're absolutely right. I love that connection. I haven't thought about it that way before because,
Yeah.
in the work, we don't talk as much about influence using
Mhm.
that terminology.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
really powerful connection.
Uh-huh. It's that, it is that piece. And what's it how's it show up with, how does the authenticity piece and you being all of you, how does it show up in different spaces? Like, I can imagine sometimes it has to maybe look different depending on, it's a board meeting night, depending on, you know, parent night, like, where we're talking to families, right? Like, or the teacher, like, how's that look for you to just show up as who you are, with those different kinds of levels of relationships, I guess?
Mhm. So it's large again, just it's me and as a professional and, showing up for parent nights, for example,
Yeah.
it's me as an educational leader, me as an educator, and me as a parent because I
Mhm.
walk in their shoes with my own children and I've
Right.
been to open houses. And so just thinking through the type of, greeting that I want from my kids' administrators and just the feeling when you walk in that school space to know that your child is going to be cared for and loved and challenged. And so, similarly with, board meetings and other
Mhm.
types of community events, one of the big pieces for me is always keeping students at the center. And so all of our board meetings start with student celebration. So we have students come and talk about
My gosh.
honors and accolades. work that they've done, service projects, and they're why we're here. And so it's, talking with families, asking them how they are, how their children are. We're so excited to have them. So it's really, it's not different showing up. It's just who I am. And it's how I show up to my kids' events. And, I am who I am and I show up unapologetically. And I'm passionate about the work and about raising my own children well and helping to support, our families and our educators and helping our students become amazing human beings. And so,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is who I am, and I've learned to be unapologetically me.
Yeah. You you exude and model the work with within the leadership, which I think a lot of people, when they think of leadership, they think of the opposite of exuding this work, which is also why many people have crappy leaders. Like, so, but it's like you're modeling it for them, even if it makes people uncomfortable or like they're not sure what to do with it or whatever else. Because I mean, I know because I feel that from other people when I interact with them. Right. So but it's that true. I am who I am. I'm really proud of this work that I've done and I'm doing, and I'm going to use it to serve this space,
Mhm.
no matter what,
And
because
I
I
can't
believe in
do
our mission values.
yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just had that connection and, the other part, the and I can't do it alone.
No, oh my gosh,
I need
never.
our people and I need
Yeah,
great people around me. And that's part of, being unapologetically who I am is I do have really high expectations for myself and for others. And I extend grace and give support.
yeah,
We have to serve our kids well and they need
yeah,
us to show up fully. And I
yep,
expect people to show up fully.
yep. And I will live in this tension of two things of grace, care, and compassion, and holding you accountable to those expectations
Mhm.
because those are our values, and because our children deserve it, and we do it best by being who we are. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Okay. I'm going to wrap you up with our two closing questions. Are you ready?
Oh, I hope so.
You know one. You know one. So, first closing question. When has courage looked different than you expected? And what did it teach you?
So another one that I've struggled with is I have been very bad about foreboding joy. That
Uh,
when I am feeling true joy,
yeah.
feeling like if I feel this joy or if I say today was an amazing day, something's going to happen. Like the other
Yeah.
shoe's going to drop.
Yeah.
Everything's just
Catastrophizing. Yep.
yes, and so that gave me that sense of control that if worrying about it, if I worry about it, it's not gonna happen, and so
Oof.
the work that we do as leaders is difficult, and it can be exhausting at times. If you're doing the right work,
Yeah.
sometimes it's all-consuming, and so giving myself permission to sit in the joy and just experience it and telling those thoughts, "I don't have time for you. We're not going to forebode joy. We're not going
Yeah.
to worry about
Yeah.
if I experience this moment and feel all the feelings that
Yeah.
everything's going to go south. I work very hard and I care deeply about the work that we do. And I've told myself, you deserve to feel the joy
Yeah.
as our people deserve to feel the joy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it and there's a lot of hard. And
Yeah.
so I can't continue to show up as a leader and do this work sustainably if I don't give myself permission to also embrace all the amazing aspects of it. So
Absolutely.
that was a huge courage
Yeah.
move for me because I
That's huge.
wanted to control everything. And I thought, okay, if I worry about things and
Yeah.
not truly be present, then I can control all the things, but I can't.
No. No. To actually pause and celebrate. Hmm. And I do think that I mean, I do. I have a keep going file in my email. And I don't know. I don't visit it often, but I know what to be able to put a message in there. Like, okay, that's a keep going message. Like, pause, celebrate, actually feel the joy and the goodness. And it's going to live right alongside the hard because it always does. Because life will life and people will people. I love it. That's good. All right. Your last question.
Okay.
The surprise one. What is one part of yourself that you are reclaiming or honoring right now?
Oh, wow. That's a good question that I'm reclaiming
Or honoring?
or honoring. I think the piece it's an interesting phase of life right now because this fall we dropped our oldest son off at college for the first time. And so while our work, is never done,
Mhm.
I'm honoring the young man who he's become and the role that, my husband and I, and it takes a village. So our families, our support system, but really taking a moment to step back and say, gosh, I've been part of raising an amazing
Yeah,
human being and he's going to
yeah,
do great things. And I've got my two younger kiddos and same thing. But I
yeah,
think just this really unique transition has let me step back and say, he is ready to fly and
yeah,
he's going out into the world with confidence and with the skills that he needs. And yes, he's going to struggle as we all do. Um, but as parents, as siblings, as spouses, sometimes we
yeah,
don't take a moment to recognize our good work in those areas too.
yeah. That piece of like, I did some of that.
I
Like,
know. I'm like,
yeah,
he
I
has
think that's
the
such a
best of
big
me
part. Right.
and the best of my husband. I'm like,
Oh,
yes.
that's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it's such a like new season for parents. It's just we're walking several of our friends through that, and it's like it's why like one of my friends she was this weird like I don't know what he's eating like, or I don't know who his friends are. I've always known his friends' families, right? Like I just don't know. So it's just, she's like it's just this like poof, and I was like yeah, and I go and it's good and hard, and that's the work.
It
That's
is.
the work.
And that's the joy that I'm letting myself soak
Ah,
in and,
I love it.
just be present in the moment and celebrate, who he is. And yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
it's
I love it.
exciting.
I love it. Great answer. Great answer. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and for doing this with me. Where can people connect with you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah. So I'm on LinkedIn. So Amy Ruzicka on LinkedIn. And that's a great way to connect. And just, I love to learn with people, from people. I just love to connect with like minded leaders and people committed to walking out the courage work.
Awesome. We'll link to Bayless too because it's incredible.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right.
So
Thank you.
appreciative.
Thank you for listening to the Courage is Built Here podcast. Whether you're brand new to this work or living it out loud every day, I hope today was helpful, hopeful, and a reminder that you're not alone. What one bit of courage will you take from this episode, and how will you walk it out? If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend, leave us a review, and please make sure you like and subscribe. New episodes come out every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform and Fridays on YouTube. For more resources, head to JustineFroelker.com and click to my store. Because courage isn't a one-time thing, it's built right here, one small choice at a time, and especially between us.